A survey of 1,000 retail traders asked a simple question. Why do you think you're still unprofitable? A simple question. Why do you think you're still unprofitable? 68% answered psychology and emotions. Only 22% blamed their strategy. But here's what the follow-up research showed. Of those same traders, over 80% didn't actually have a fully tested system or a proven edge. Imagine, out of those 1,000 traders, 80% of them, that's 800 people, 800 traders, didn't actually have a strategy that is working. A strategy that proved that it can work, that it has a positive expectancy in the long run. A strategy that proved it can work on past data, and if you follow the conditions, you're gonna be profitable. 80% of them didn't have that. So the real problem right here isn't the mindset, it's that most traders are fighting psychology without even building a system worth trusting in the first place. So imagine that every single day you're working on your psychology, you are being aware of your impulses, trying to be patient for your setup, you're doing all that work, due diligence, but at the end of the month, you're gonna lose money because you don't have a system. You're trying to fill a leaking bucket. The only thing that's gonna change right here is that your reaction to losses. Now you're not gonna lose control after taking a number of losses. You're gonna be, happy about them, and you think that it is just part of the process of being profitable, but in fact, you don't even have a system that is working, that proved that it can work. And here's the thing, finding a strategy that works in the long run, that has a consistent expectancy, positive expectancy, is extremely hard. Alright, this is not like what social media advertise, that just find something simple and be consistent with. No, it doesn't work like that. Finding something that works requires a lot of hours, a lot of hard work that you put into the lab, into your backtesting session, analyzing, adding parameters and removing parameters, refining stop loss placement, targets, what kind of confluences that works, what kind of confluences that doesn't work. So it's a long and complicated process to find something that works. It requires a lot of work and a lot of data to actually see if this thing works or not. But most traders, they don't even know how to follow that process to find something that works. They do one major mistake in the process of backtesting, which is logging only the trades that look good. So let me give you an example so you can understand me better. Imagine that you have a strategy, alright? You either get it from somewhere else and you added some confluences to it, you added your touch to it, alright, and you took it to the backtesting environment. So that strategy have, let's say, 5 conditions, alright, condition 1, 2, 3, all the way to 5, and when those conditions met, you're gonna take the trade. But how many times you went into the backtesting session, you start looking for trades, and there is a setup that follows all the conditions, but you didn't take it, alright? You didn't take it because it feels like it's not good enough. It's likely to fail. Although it follows all the conditions of that strategy, the conditions that you think they are the best combination, so it makes the strategy works, alright? But you don't take that trade. Sometimes you take it, but you say to yourself, I'm probably not gonna take it in live trading. So what can you notice right here? What are you doing? You're basically taking that strategy and adding your own judgment to it. Alright? So here's the thing. We don't even know that, or if that strategy actually works by itself, not with your judgment to it, not with your own filters, that it just feels that this setup is not gonna work. It follows all the conditions, but I don't like it. I'm gonna emphasize on this. You don't feel like it's gonna work. This is your own judgment. Now you are messing with the base rate of the strategy. So we don't know if the strategy by itself is gonna work or not. You added your judgment to it, but your judgment can be compromised easily. If you have a strategy that has 6 or 5 conditions and without any human interfering, if you follow all the conditions, this strategy is gonna work on the long run. But when you add your judgment to it, it's gonna be compromised. Let me give you an example. Imagine that you opened or you started the trading session and the first setup presented itself. It follows all those 5 conditions of that strategy that you found or you developed but not tested yet, but it feels like it's not gonna work. You have that discretion, so you added your judgment to it, right? And what happens is that you were right and it didn't work. That setup didn't work. So now you're right. Alright, everything is good. Suppose that the next day you started the session, you wanted to take a setup, it meets all the conditions and you feel good about it. Price leaves without you, without giving you an entry. Second setup, same thing. Now the third setup, even if that setup doesn't look good, alright, that third setup, if it was yesterday and it was the first setup of the day, you wouldn't even think to take it because yeah, it follows all the conditions, but you don't feel like it's gonna work. But now you have missed 2 previous setups. You feel like the market left without you, so now your judgment is compromised. You want to participate in the move. You don't want the market to leave without you again. So you can see the difference right here. Now, that one thing that made your unprofitable strategy, your unproven strategy works, which is your judgment, is now compromised. Alright? And this is extremely hard because it's hard to identify it and to fix it. It's hard to quantify it, in other words. And when there is something you can't quantify, how are you going to enhance it and fine-tune it, right? So can you see the problem right here? But if you have a strategy that without your judgment, those conditions, if you follow them to the T, if you take every setup that follows those conditions, it's gonna work on the long run. So here, you don't have to rely on your judgment, just follow that strategy, just be disciplined. And this is easy to fix, to be disciplined, to follow your strategy. Because if that strategy is proven in the backtesting environment, alright, there's data behind you, discipline becomes easy. Just follow the plan, alright? You know it's gonna work, just follow the plan. You know that there is a reward at the end of the tunnel. And I know that this is the case for a lot of people. Their strategy without their judgment, it doesn't work. It simply doesn't work. It's unprofitable. And that's a big problem. You need to have a strategy that is proven. And in order for you to do that, you need to hit the lab and spend hours, countless hours, trying to develop that. And here's the thing. You need, when you have a strategy, let's say that you put to yourself 5 conditions. This is the base. This is the draft strategy. Meaning those conditions can be changed, removed, added to them in the future. When you do that, you need to log every single instance where a setup presented itself that follows all the conditions and log the result. You need to have positive expectancy. You don't filter, you remove your judgment here. You log every single setup that follows the condition. If you have a positive expectancy, if it works, right? You have hit gold, and now all you have to do is to refine it to have a better expectancy. If it has a negative expectancy, alright, those conditions have a negative expectancy, meaning it's unprofitable, you're gonna start removing conditions or add one, add a new condition, and do the whole process. Gather data, log every single setup that follows this new set of condition, and see if it has a positive expectancy. Most cases you're not gonna find it in the first place. It's gonna be a long process, but once you find it, now you have something tangible, you have something proven. Alright, I'm not saying that judgment is a bad thing. Judgment is a must when you reach a certain level in trading. Alright, but your judgment needs to enhance the results. Alright, You have a strategy that is proven and you add your judgment to it, so the results are actually better. But you can't just add your judgment to something that doesn't work and expecting it to work on the long run. You simply can't do that. Because what does it even mean when you see a setup that follows the condition and you see, I don't like it, I don't feel like it's gonna work? Is that something that you can repeat? That's not filter, that's not a real filter that you can add to every setup in the future. So what you can do right here is you find the set of conditions that makes your strategy works without you, alright? And then you try to formalize your feelings or your judgment about a certain trade. For example, you say that I don't like this trade, alright? You stop there and take a moment and determine what is it exactly that you don't like in the chart. So try to formalize it. Maybe the setup is there, or you want to take a long, but there is I don't know, there is a big imbalance below you, just below you. So you think that price is not gonna just trade to the upside from here. There's a good chance that it's gonna drop even lower to balance that imbalance, right? And then trade to the upside. So this is how you can formalize it. So now the filter will become, when there is a big imbalance below me, I don't take the long until price balance that imbalance. And this is just a simple example, all right? Let me give you another example. Maybe there is a clean price taking previous low, liquidity sweep, whatever, previous daily low, right? And then there is a break of structure. You want to take it higher right now, but the overall picture is that we are in a range, and that particular setup is happening at the middle of the bigger range, right? So instead of saying I don't like this, try to formalize it and making an actual filter that you can repeat in the future and add it as a condition to your strategy. All right, so the next time, whatever your mental state is, the conditions of your strategy won't change. All right, it's going to be clear when you are deviating and not following your strategy. It's clear because now you have something on that strategy that clearly tells you not to take this trade, but you're still taking it. All right, this is one of the most important videos that I made on this channel, because this is not something mainstream, I would say, but take some time and ask yourself, does your system even works without you? So if you have any other questions, DM me in my Twitter account or leave a comment down below and I'll answer you as soon as I can. Now happy trading and good luck.